This is your daily. Parents are going to receive a tax credit of up to $8,000 for child care expenses. This is for 2021 and this is in effect, so this is not a proposal, this is a done deal. We're going to take a look at the stock market and cryptocurrencies. There's an indicator hinting that we're going to crash soon. I'm going to update you on the $3.5 trillion spending bill. On Tuesday, the World Health Organization is going to keep mutating and stay with us forever, just like the flu. The price of homes is going up faster than wages. A new survey shows that 48% of renters believe that they're never going to be able to afford a home. The FDA is going to reshape the vaping industry. They're expected to create new rules and regulations for vaping products in the next few days. This is your Wednesday news, and I hope you're having a very nice day. According to the Bipartisan Policy Center, 54% of parents say it's challenging to find quality childcare within their budgets. The nonprofit Childcare Aware says before the families spend an average of $9,200 on childcare per child per year. So I want to clarify the tax situation for childcare expenses this year in 2021. This is completely separate from the child tax credit. Previously, depending on your income, people received a $600 tax credit for childcare expenses. In 2021, that is increasing to a $4,000 tax credit per child. So this is a big change for this year if you have childcare expenses. If you have childcare expenses for 2 children, then you will qualify for an $8,000 tax credit. So it's basically the $4,000 per child multiplied by 2 children. The maximum credit is going to be $8,000. If you make more than $125,000, then your tax credit will be reduced. If your income is above $438,000, then your tax credit is reduced to 0 and you will no longer qualify. So if you have childcare expenses, you're going to claim this tax credit when you file your tax return next year, which is only a few months away because we're already in September. So if you don't owe any taxes, then you're still going to get this money paid to you because it's a special type of tax credit called a refundable tax credit. So we haven't spoken about cryptocurrencies or the stock market in a while, so let's take a look at what's going on. Bitcoin was valued around $53,000 on Monday. On Tuesday, it fell to $43,000. So it's going up and down wildly. It's very volatile. When looking at the stock market, you're going to get a wide range of opinions. People are saying that it's overvalued, it's going to crash. Other people will tell you that it's going to keep on going up because the Federal Reserve keeps on printing money. So there's a saying, don't fight the Fed. Other people will tell you that it's fairly valued. But I want to bring this to your attention. There's something called the Buffett indicator. So Warren Buffett is the legendary billionaire investor, and he uses this equation to see if the stock market is going to go up or if it's going to fall. So you can use this when looking at stocks globally, and you can use this for looking at stocks just in America. So the formula takes the value of all of the stocks around the world and divides that by global GDP. If the result is greater than 100%, then the indicator says that the global stock market is overvalued and the stock market should fall. Currently, using this formula, we're at a record high of 142%. The indicator is saying that stocks are heavily overpriced and there's a good chance of a stock market crash in the near future. But remember that this is at the global level. When using this indicator to look at the stock market just in America, we're at 208%. So when the ratio reaches 200%, you're in the playing with fire territory. So the indicator is basically saying that we're headed for a serious stock market crash. Warren Buffett said that this indicator is probably the best single measure of where valuations stand at any given moment. So this is Buffett's favorite indicator. My disclaimer is that this is not financial advice, but I just want to educate you on the formula and let you know what the indicator is. In political news, regarding the $3.5 trillion spending bill, Democratic Senator Joe Manchin said he wants to take a strategic pause because the senators have so much on their plate right now, even though they just got back from vacation. On Tuesday, Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, who is the leader of the Democrats in the House of Representatives, said she is not going to take a strategic pause and she wants to make it clear that they're moving forward. Democratic Senators Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema say that they're going to vote no to the bill if it costs $3.5 trillion. Nancy Pelosi says that the bill is moving forward and it's going to cost $3.5 trillion. Senator Bernie Sanders, who's writing up the bill in the Senate, said you can't slow it down. Sanders says the bill is going to pass for $3.5 trillion and it's not going to cost anything under that. So ultimately, Senator Manchin and Sinema, they are not being taken seriously. Reporters asked Nancy Pelosi if she's going to lower the cost of the bill below $3.5 trillion. Pelosi responded with, why? So Pelosi doesn't even acknowledge Manchin or Sinema. So we'll see what happens, but that's the status of the bill. In international news, on Tuesday, the World Health Organization said that it is likely here to stay with us. The organization says that it continues to mutate around the world, and the hope to eradicate is now diminishing. So I know that many people here already predicted this and saw this coming. Dr. Mike Ryan, the executive director of the World Health Organization's Health Emergencies Program, said, I think it's here to stay with us, and it will evolve like influenza. Ryan continued to say, people have said, we're going to eliminate or eradicate. No, we're not. That's very, very unlikely. Dr. Anthony Fauci says that we're going to have to live with just like the flu. In current events, according to a survey by LendingTree, 48% of renters are worried that they're never going to be able to buy a home in their lifetime. Generation X is 41 to 55 years old. 55% of Generation X that are renting are concerned that they're never going to be able to obtain home ownership in their lifetime. Generation X is now in the age range of when they're going to be making the most money in their life. Jacob Channel, a senior economic analyst at LendingTree, said, Generation X is in their peak earning years, and they're thinking, if I haven't bought a house at this point, it's probably not going to happen. Millennials are 25 to 40 years old. 52% of millennials that are renting are worried that they're never going to be able to afford a home. Channel says what we're seeing, especially is home prices rising really, and wages are not keeping up. Channel says that this is a big problem because home ownership is a large source of wealth. According to Pew Research Center, home equity is a source of wealth for the American middle class that is more important than stocks or bonds. President Biden outlined his plan last week to provide more affordable housing. However, that plan, it's still preliminary, and it's going to take years to implement. And we don't even know if it's going to be effective after years of waiting, especially because the states are going to be administering the programs. The FDA is changing the vaping industry, also known as electronic cigarettes. It is estimated that 60 to 70 million people vape worldwide. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry and it's growing fast. A big part of the vaping markets is unregulated. For example, smokers that are trying to break their nicotine addiction, they switch to a nicotine-free vape. But according to the National Library of Medicine, it is common to find labeling inaccuracies. So when they say that this vape is nicotine-free, it actually has nicotine in many instances. The FDA had to step in for those situations because they said it poses a significant risk to consumers. On September 9th, the FDA will decide which types of vape products are appropriate for the protection of the public health. So the FDA is going to be reshaping the vaping industry in the next few days. So we don't know what the FDA is going to do, but they said that they're considering major changes to the vape industry. And I wanted to end with this interesting fact about TikTok. So TikTok, it's not a fad. It's not going away. It's here to stay. TikTok continues to be the most downloaded app for the past year. In America, people are spending more time on TikTok than YouTube, which is per user. YouTube is still the leader of total time spent on the platform because YouTube simply has more users. But a new report shows that TikTok has overtaken YouTube on average time spent per user. That's news for today. If you enjoyed today's report, please be sure to subscribe. I thank you for your support and I wish you a very nice day.